Hello everybody, how's it going? I'm outside for this recording. Gina's in there watching a TV show, and I wanted to get this video out before the busy weekend with the county match play before next week. So I don't know if this mic's going to be picking up any bird noises or any noises out here. I guess I won't find out until I go back and rewatch it. But yeah, that's what's going on here with the video. Just going to walk you through the email. Lots to talk about in this one. No event this weekend, obviously, county match play, but we're picking back up with 4 weekends in a row of just regular Twilights with the White Birch. You know, we play one club after that one, but we have Willow Hollow next Saturday and then Iron Valley the following Sunday to finish off June. August, I'm still not entirely sure what's going on the 18th and that weekend. I'll know more on that soon, but the next big event would be Golden Oaks. End of July would be our second major, the Masters. So congratulations to our flight winners. We had Laud winning championship flight with an impressive 4 under 66. If you're wondering, wait, I thought Laud was gone when pictures were taken. He was. Or you might be wondering, man, Laud looks really fucking yoked in this picture. That is an effort from the fabulous Photoshopper, Bill Cuff himself. So that is Laud on Hand's body from last year's Open Trophy. I got a fucking kick out of that one. Here's our real pictures. No photoshopping here. Toth just is mega yoked. I don't need to Photoshop his head on anybody. But we have Tothy winning first flight and Bill Burke winning second flight. I got a picture of them cheersing. Hopefully they weren't sick this week, because those 2 trophies have been sitting in my basement for pretty much a year. So I don't know what kind of dust and shit those collected. So hopefully those 2 guys are healthy this week. But let's start out here with second flight. So this one just cracks me up to watch. You know, I usually put the live scoring in for my group, and just the wild back and forth in this flight are just, you really can't. They joke about the Masters not starting till the back 9 on Sunday. I would say like the Twilight Open second flight doesn't start until the 16th hole. It's just you guys and your crazy swings. I mean, look at front 9. Practically everybody was in it at this point. So leading after 9 would have been Eck and Jack with 10 over 46s, and Bill Burke 47, Doc Puzzy 47, 1 back, Cuffy 2 back, Knight a 3 back. There was, even these guys are still in it at that point. And then back 9, it's hard to exactly tell what was going on like in the middle portion of the back 9. I don't entirely recall who I was seeing at the top of the leaderboard at that point. Cuffy obviously battled back, and I guess the scenario on 18 was Cuffy and Bill were tied going into 18. Cuffy went up 1 with, or I'm sorry, Bill went up 1 with his double. X group still had to play. Eck needed par to get into the playoff and made bogey. He actually hit a great tee-ball that just rolled off the back. Hit a phenomenal chip to like 4 feet and just missed a putt. 4 or 5 feet, I don't know. I was standing in the back of the green, something like that. So I guess explaining all of that, you know, Bill and Cuffy would have been maybe 2 shots up on Eck, 2 or 3 shots on Eck going into 18, and there's just so much wild shit that happened. It's always one of my favorite flights to follow. So there were your final results. Bill Burke won $40, automatically exempt for the Ryder Cup no matter what. Cuffy and Eck both won $25. They split second and third place money. So Bill Burke, first major championship for him. Speaking of first, Tothy pulling a huge upset in first flight. One of the longest shots we had, goes out there with a neck that could barely move. Watching him, and he he did God's work on my neck at Lebanon Valley, and I couldn't even swing a club that day. So I don't know how the hell he went out and won this thing, but he did so by beating Doug by 1 and Joe and Soup by 2. So Doug was in the lead by 2 shots after 9. He played a hell of a front. 1 birdie, 3 bogeys, shot 2 over, 2-shot lead over Joe and Billy D, and then had a 4-shot lead over Tothy, Soup, Baney, Sav, Allen. This is another one where a lot of guys were still in the mix at that point. But Doug held a pretty commanding lead, and I look at my phone, I don't know, put the live scoring in a hole later, and yeah, as you can see, Doug then started off the back double triple, Joe started off the back double double, so, and even Tothy started out the back bogey bogey. So out of nowhere, it just kind of flipped things around, and it was anybody's game at that point. Doug went on to play his next 6 holes even. Tothy went on to play the next 6 2 under. And I know Tothy did finish first, so Doug needed, and there's the finals, Doug needed a par on 18 to force a playoff. And he made bogey. I forget what he said. He missed the green, maybe to the left, pitched it up on, and missed like a decent length putt. Nothing crazy. But yeah, Tothy got the job done there in first flight. Congrats to him. It's one of my favorites to play with. Just great guy. So first major as well. So Bill Burke, him. Here's how everything shook out there on Scrolf. Tothy won $50 automatically in the Ryder Cup. Doug 30, and then Joe and Soup chopped 15 for 3rd and 4th. Laud won his first Open. This would be his second major. He also won a Masters at Sunset. So Laud was the first group out. I mean, he led wire to wire, essentially. By the time the rest of the championship teed off, he was on hole 3, I think, at that point. And so, he was already 1 under, and as you can see, he didn't make a bogey until he lost his ball on the 16th. So he just completely dominated the field. After 9, I guess I was only 1 back after 9 with my 1 under. But it did feel like once I got to the back, it was kind of out of reach. Now, Pez made an unbelievable run. I mean, really starting on if I go back to number 9, he would have played his last 10 holes 6 under, which is wild. And his putter just was absolute fire. I mean, some of my were going on 5 days since the event. So my distances or memory might be a little fuzzy, but I know he made a decent, maybe 10-ish footer on 9 for birdie. He missed the green left on 10, and obviously with where that pin was, that left wasn't a good miss. He played a really cheeky 9-iron bump or something like that up to gimme range. 11, he boxes a putt from the back fringe, I don't know, 40-footer maybe. 12, 2-putt birdie. 13, he misses left of the cart path with his tee shot and hits a flop that, probably 50 yards, I would say. It was probably a 50-yard flop shot to that back left pin that beautifully landed on the fringe and trickled right in. And then he actually, on 14, actually missed probably a 5-ish footer for birdie. 15, I don't remember. I think he just had a standard 2-putt. Then made 16 and 17, made 25 footers. And so that takes us to 18, where he knows at this point he needs to make birdie. Hits a fucking hell of a shot to 15 feet above it. And hit a good putt, just left it maybe a couple inches short. So he had an absolute hell of a run to probably give Laud a little bit of a scare, because I'm sure he's thinking at that point, he had multiple shots lead over both of us. And it was really just Laud, me after 9, everybody else was a few shots back. And then Pez had the charge coming out of nowhere. I had that 8 on 17, made him chunked my tee ball, hit it up short of the green, realized I hit one of the Titleist balls from the range, went back, then hit a bad, like found it, hit a bad one, just made an absolute fucking mess of it to make an 8 on there. But it didn't matter. I needed birdie on 17 and 18 just to get into a playoff. So just a 3rd place finish. And yeah, nobody else was really anywhere in the mix in championship. So there's the final 4 under, 3 under, which are just really impressive rounds out there in tournament conditions, playing the ball down. Laud 50. Pez 30, myself 20, and Steve 10. CTPs, they were worth $20 each. Nobody hit number 2. I originally had, like, I took the in a normal one, I'd take that extra money, I'd add it to skins, or I'd add it to the CTPs. But obviously, after what happened to the pot, I will be nickeling and diming everything the rest of the year to at least make the pot as much money as possible, because obviously, as if you don't know, I'm going to get to it soon. Well, right here it is. Laud had the CTPs on 10 and 18, Baney on 13, and then hands ace. So there's a picture of him, Jay-Z, Laud. So number 15, I don't know, was playing 90 something. I don't remember exactly what, 95 maybe. Oh, speaking of the CTP, sorry. You guys did an awful job with Scroff. So who's ever keeping score, when you are done, when you approach that hole that has a CTP, you're going to get prompted to enter if you beat it. Now, you should see at the top, it says the person's name and what the CTP is. Now, here's a perfect example. Number 10, Laud is the first group. 12 feet 2 inches. Okay, so every group after him opened up the app, and at the top it said Laud 12 feet 2 inches. So when you open that, like, you should know, okay, do I have to measure it or not? I don't know why we have 5 other names on it after, like, why are we typing names in after 12 feet? Don't, like, just look at the top, and if you can't beat it, don't type your name in. That just gets super confusing for everyone to look at. And maybe that's what happened. Maybe, like, Conroy's group put it over top of Laud, and then nobody saw Laud's 12 feet anymore. I don't know. But everybody fucked it up. Once again, Jay-Z's the first group. We have 3 other people putting it on. Well, besides Baney had to put it on top because he beat it. But, like, Tothi didn't beat that. Sab didn't beat that. I don't know what the hell was going on out there. Just in the future, just pay attention when you open up the contest and just look at it and see what the distance is. If you're close, go out and measure it. If not, just move on. So, sorry, that was driving me nuts. Back to the email. So, hands ace. Oh, yeah, I was saying it played like 95 something. I don't entirely remember. But they said, I guess, it hit the fringe, and I even saw it go in. We were on 10T and heard it happen. I'll get to that in a bit, too. 210 in the skins pot. They paid $26.25 each. Once again, I am rounding down because we need the extra money. So you each got $25. So this is a lot of skins for a major too. I mean, birdie on 2 for Jack. He chipped in obviously because nobody hit the green. Beltsy, great birdie on 3. Billy D, birdie on 6. That green's really challenging. I saw Jimmy Nida make his putt on 10. That was like a 40-footer going across the green. Pez, I already described that flop. 14 is the only surprising one. That only one person birdied that par 5. Hands ace, obviously, and then Laud birdied that 18th, sticking it in there real close. Okay, so here's the betting. This started back on, I don't know, maybe like Wednesday. Hand says they were asking for odds on all kinds of stuff. He goes, because Bobby Fairways made an ace, one of us 4 to make an ace. So the bet in Bobby Fairways is Bob Does Sports. He originally wanted it just to be himself, Steve, Laud, and myself to make a hole-in-one. And he even said he wanted he's like, I'll take shit odds just for the vibes. Okay, ignore Laud's message. So now I'm thinking, I'm just going to give him terrible odds for anybody to get an ace. I don't even care. Like 50 to 1 is awful. I mean, I think it's like 1.25 million to 1 is the odds of getting a hole in one. Yes, we have 32 people golfing, But when you think about the Manor par 3s, they're very difficult with the exception of 15. And then once I did send that, I'm like, you know what, 15 is only like 95 yards depending on where the pin is. The ball can like funnel to that, but I'm like, still, like, we have a hole in, we went like 5 years in the league without, till we even had our first hole in one. They just don't happen. So he's like, $10. You know, he goes, somebody making an ace Sunday, I can feel it, which is just like, in retrospect, it's just hysterical. So he bets $10 on it. And then of course some people see it on the email, and I learned a lesson. It's a bet I should not offer because it does us as a league no good. $10 in the grand scheme of things, when there was, you know, $1,000, over $1,000 bet, the pot making $10, like, you kind of think of a hole in one, it's like, thanks for the donation, thanks for the $10, but it's like, it's not even worth the risk to pay out $500 for a $10 bet. And I kind of got, I guess I want to say, like, arrogant, like, yeah, you know, we'll take the $30 free of all these people taking terrible odds in a hole in one, and it fucking bit me in the ass. But it is what it is. I learned I won't be offering an ace again. Don't fucking ask about it. It kind of and it sucks too, because we heard it happen on number 10. We were standing on 10. Steve's like, I'm pretty sure that was Laud screaming on 15. And then I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and I instantly, like, my gut sank. Like, and it shouldn't happen. It's like, fucking Hand's one of my best friends. I should be super excited for him. And I got over it within a couple holes. But it was like kind of stressful. Because there's so much that goes into, you know, us needing money for things, and I instantly knew that we were out. I think it was 12. If I scroll down, I think it was 1250. And the thing is, if I don't include that ace, the pot did exactly what I wanted. I think it won 300 without the ace. Like, I want some people to win money. Obviously, I want you to have a chance to win money. You know, just like Bill Burke, bet $10, like $50. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want people to do. The hole in one's it's just bad. So first flight we won money on, second flight we won money on. First flight we did fantastic on because, 10-1, nobody even bet Tothy. Championship we lost a little bit, which doesn't surprise me because I gave very fair odds, and I really thought like it was going to come from that group of 5-1 odds. And it did, with Laud winning $50 on him, paid out $250, but still good. You know, people won some money on that, super fair odds. The prop bets did great. I knew I set a bad line. Oh, and the Cuff Burke Exacta, I paid half of it out. So instead of 3-1, I gave 1.5-1 because Eck tied for second. So those of you who bet that, it just paid out plus 150 instead of plus 300. I knew I set a bad line on this. That I'm annoyed about as well. I think Doug originally bet it, and I gave him plus 100 on Steve and I to come in the top 5. And once he bet it, I'm like, fuck, that's a bad. I should have made that like minus 200. The way Steve and I generally play in majors, we've been coming in the top. And then a couple people hammered it. I think Rod Max bet it, and I fucking knew I had a bad line, and I just had to eat that one. But it wasn't the end of the world. Like, it was a plus 100 bet. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Set a bad line. People can enjoy their free money there. I feel my apologies to the 3+ under par because I was 2 under on 17T and made an 8. So sorry to you guys. I did not intentionally tank that, even though we needed every cent. Yeah, and here's the hole in one. You know, Hand bet 10. I think it was Peronio, who didn't even play, bet 10. Elliott 5, who didn't even play. Cuffy bet 5. That might be it. So that killed us. I mean, 1500. I was wrong in it. 1500. Just, yeah, it sucks. So the pot lost $1,100. I don't know when I want to talk about it. I guess I'll wait to talk about that till below. But yeah, that's the pot update. We did good otherwise. That was just bad. Lesson learned on my part. My arrogance got the best of me. Ryder Cup standings. So this is different for this event. You get a point for your purse. You get 2 points if you got a Skinner CTP. You get 1 point for every birdie you made, 5 points for every eagle, and $5 just for participating. So they're the current standings. I mean, we got a lot of golf to play yet this year. There's, well, let's see how many events there are left. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Masters is 5. Probably one more in August. So 6 events left before the Ryder Cups. There's still tons of time that things can get shaken up before then. But Steele and I, if it ended today, would currently be captains. Here's your list. So we have Laud, Toth, Bill Burke. You can see they will only appear at the top now. They are automatically exempt. And then we're up to 49. So that cutoff is always at 44. Remember, it could be less. Like any of you at the bottom, if we have like a weird number that sign up, I don't ask anybody else. That's more work for me. Like I'll just cut it if that's the case. So here's where I'll talk about it. For the dick list, and double check this. Steve and I actually spent 30 minutes on the phone together this morning checking all of this out because there can be a lot that happens. So you all had a $22 entry fee. $2 went to Scroff, $10 went to your person, your flight, $10 went to skin and CTPs. Okay, so start off, all of you that paid, you'll see a negative 22. That played, you'll see a negative 22. Your purse, I showed that above, how much you won if you came in the top 3 or 4, depending on your flight. If you want a skin, you got $25. If you want a CTP, you got 20. Here you'll find out all your betting information. Elliot was nice enough. He was one of the guys that hit the hole-in-one that he donated $50 back, which I really, really appreciate because that goes a super long way with how bad of shape the pot's in. And then this is just our hole-in-one rule, that if you play the day that somebody has a hole-in-one, you pay them $5. I know that is not the normal thing to do. The normal thing is the person that made the hole-in-one pays out. We just don't believe that's right. Now, we expect Han to buy drinks for everyone, which he did, and that's on you if you don't stick around. I don't really give a shit. You're still getting billed for it if you played that day. But it's customary that that person buys drinks, and I just bill everybody else $5. Now, sometimes it could be over that amount. I mean, back when Eck had his hole-in-one, we didn't have this rule, and I know he paid a bar / lunch bill that was many $100s, but that's just the deal. So Hand got 5 times 30, $150 for making it, but that doesn't affect the pot at all. You know, that just goes directly to him. So I would just make sure that's right. All the way in the left side then is how many Ryder Cup points you earned and your current balance. So here's the pot situation, which is really bad. So this number is our current balance. So first off, any of you that won money, you will not be able to ask for money Venmo'd to you right now because we just don't have it. You're gonna have to wait till the end of the year. I can hope to recoup some losses at the Masters. That's really it. I mean, you know, we get those dollar entry fees every week, but that's only like, you know, $20 to $25 depending on who plays. An average major, I think if we do okay, we can win a couple hundred, but the issue is the Ryder Cup standings, I need to pay out $400. I have all the plaques that I put on the trophies. That's probably $50-ish. That's $450. And then it was always customary that I paid for all the food and like a happy hour at Red Lion, which is usually, Steve and I looked at the last 3. Sorry if that made a noise. Steve and I looked at the last 3 years, which is, I want to say average to around like 700. And usually the pot's up plus 700, so it's great. Like that's, I want to even out. I want it to be that you can enjoy food and, you know, a couple hours of free drinks on the league. That's the best part of it. With the hole-in-one disaster now, that's not going to happen. So here are the scenarios. There's most likely going to be a league-wide assessment at the end of the year. So meaning everybody that's a member of the league, you're just going to get billed $10. I think we have like 50 people. So we can recoup $500 of it that way. And the Ryder Cup party is almost certainly going to be you have to pay for it. Whether that be I just collect a flat amount from everyone for food and you're responsible for your own drinks, or I'll do them together, but I would certainly expect an assessment and having to pay for your own stuff at Red Lion. It's just the way it is. I fucked up. It's on me for offering something that can only hurt the league, but it's lesson learned. It's still congrats to Hand, like absolutely awesome. It's his second ace in a major, by the way. He has one back at Fox Chase too. But in the future, you will not be asking me for hole-in-one bets. Anything else I will take, but anything with ridiculous odds like that, where somebody can just be like, fuck it, $5 and win $250, will not be happening. So yeah, that's the state of the league for our pot. But hopefully I can recoup something up, and we'll be okay. We'll make it work. But definitely don't like last year we did great. Last year I think Steve said we paid for $800 of it at Red Lion. So that was fantastic. And I mean, some years we have good years with the pot, some we don't. Like that's normal. But we've never had a scenario like this. Although Steve and I were talking, there was I think it was the Ryder Cup. One of the Ryder Cup lines, maybe like 5 years ago, I put out like a really, really bad line on one of the matches, and everybody just absolutely slammed it. But I learned my lesson on that too. Like, I'm not afraid to fucking shame anybody now. I'll put a minus 1,000 bet in a Ryder Cup pairing. Be like, just don't bet that match because it's completely unbalanced. So now, hey, another lesson learned. It is what it is. So yeah, that's it for the Twilight Open recap. It was a great day. We had nice weather, fun time. The manor's great. Tested everybody just about how I thought it would. Super quirky, but if you know the course and you hit ball at the right spots, it's just super fun to play it. So yeah, that's that, guys. I'll be having the Willow Hollow Willow Hollow Google Sheet on Monday, so we're playing there next Saturday. Just a regular old Twilight event, which we have not had since pretty much the middle of May, so it's been like a month since we've had a regular old one. But yeah, that's it, guys. If you made it this far, man, I went on for 27 minutes. Sorry. This is more like a podcast than a YouTube video, just podcasting to myself. Which was thank you for listening. It was very therapeutic to get all of that hole-in-one stuff out. So yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for listening. I will see you guys next week.